neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath.
My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Vita, strength to dream. My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Vita, strength to dream. My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Vita, strength to dream. My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Vita, strength to dream. My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Vita, strength to dream. My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Vita, strength to dream. My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Vita, strength to dream. My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Vita, strength to dream. My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc and vitamin C that supports his immunity and
There are certain moments in the day when I need my me time to just unwind and indulge.
What is this?
The Cadbury goodness is in every pack of Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, making you feel cheerful and pleasant. Enjoy the Cadbury goodness. There are certain moments in the day when I need my me time to just unwind and indulge.
What is this?
The Cadbury goodness is in every pack of Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, making you feel cheerful and pleasant. Enjoy the Cadbury goodness. There are certain moments in the day when I need my me time to just unwind and indulge.
What is this?
The Cadbury goodness is in every pack of Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, making you feel cheerful and pleasant. Enjoy the Cadbury goodness. There are certain moments in the day when I need my me time to just unwind and indulge.
What is this?
The Cadbury goodness is in every pack of Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, making you feel cheerful and pleasant. Enjoy the Cadbury goodness.
Chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath. Chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath. Chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath. Chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath. chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath. Florex chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath.
Florex chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath. Florex chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath.
Of Cadbury Nigeria PLC. I'd like to welcome our distinguished shareholders who are represented here, our audit committee members, our regulators, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, our registrars, represented by Mr. Bayo Lubemi, our external auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, our board members. Before we start the audit committee, before we start the annual general meeting, we would like us to have a health and safety briefing in light of these times that we're living in. It's important to keep safe, stay well, and stay healthy. I'll invite our health and safety manager, Mr. Bolaji Oyewo, to give a health and safety briefing.
Hello. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to stand on the already observed protocol by Fola and say specially welcome you to the annual general meeting, the 56th edition for Cadbury Nigeria PLC. We're delightful having you here. And quite interesting that because of the COVID situation in Nigeria, this will be the second time we're having this event within the premises of Cadbury Nigeria PLC. And so I think the gain from this is the fact that at least every one of us now will have understanding, or little, even if it is little, of how the settings is within Cadbury Nigeria PLC. As a responsible company, and because of the duty of care we have on all stakeholders, be it employee, be it customers, be it suppliers, be it shareholder. As much as you come in here, we have that duty of care to ensure that we keep you safe, you work in safely, and you must go back in that safe manner. So part of ensuring this is the need to give a safety briefing of what the site is about and the likely risk that you might be exposed to. And so you're seated here in the commercial part of Cadbury Nigeria PLC. The section is separated into two. We have the manufacturing part and as well the commercial part. The commercial part houses the headquarters, the training centers, the marketing, sales and marketing centers. So everything you have here is more of commercial activities. The other side is manufacturing. So fortunately for us, we're within the commercial side, and so the risk is quite very low. One of the things I need to mention is that as much as you are in here, we need to be mindful of the fact that we have what we call vehicular pedestrian segregation, which we expect that every visitor will comply with. There is a marked administrative control, a marked line that is expected that all visitors will walk through. And one beautiful thing and important thing is that because you're not familiar with our site, it is important that if you want to go anywhere, you should follow your host. For this particular occasion, we are expected to limit our movement within the site to this facility, this building where we are, because we have lots of transportation activities, logistics activities that goes on within the manufacturing part of the plant. So let's limit our movements to this building. Part of the site rule is also that smoking is not allowed. It is also one of the regulations of Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency that smoking within public buildings is not allowed. In case of emergency, I need to say this, that this building has 4 exits, 4 emergency exits, but we'll not be making use of this partition end for exit. We'll be using this as an exit. We'll be using one where we have the control engineers as also as exits. And so should there be emergency case, we need to walk smartly, do not run to the muster point. The muster point is the evacuation center we have created. You will have seen it. It's printed in green. That's why we need to converge. And one of the reasons why you have also registered your name while coming in is so that we can trace, we can do what we call traceability of who is missing. So also we have a clinic in the company that runs 24 hours. Like I've said, we don't plan for emergency drill. So if there is any emergency alarm, it's real emergency. So we need to move to the specified place. We need to remind ourselves that COVID is still very much around the earth. It's still very prevalent. And so the need for us to ensure that we use our masks. The mask is what will prevent droplets from, because once they come down, they get dry off and begin to get dispersed. We also need to make use of sanitizers to ensure that we follow all COVID protocol. We have ensured that the seating arrangement is well scattered in line with the physical distancing. So I want to encourage us that as much as we touch any part, any substances, we should use these sanitizers to wipe off so that we can be sure that, rest assured that we're keeping safe. On this note, I will want to say that stay safe and be rest assured that your safety is well taken care of. Thank you for coming and have a wonderful annual general meeting. Regards.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I confirm from the registrar that we have a quorum in compliance with the company's Articles of Association and Section 256(1) of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. So it is with great pleasure, therefore, that I welcome you all to the 56th Annual General Meeting of our company. We received approval of the Corporate Affairs Commission, subsequently endorsed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Nigerian Stock Exchange, to conduct this AGM via proxy. This is as a consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic and the restriction imposed by the federal and state governments on the maximum number of persons that can be at a gathering of this nature, currently limited to no more than 50 persons. Others joining us will therefore do so via proxy and/or live streaming to our esteemed shareholders, regulators, and observers who are not physically present. As you can observe, as a responsible corporate citizen, your company has ensured compliance by taking necessary health and precautionary measures as stipulated by federal, state, regulatory, and health authorities. I confirm that the Register of Directors Shareholding, Register of Substantial Shareholders, Register of Directors Attendance at Board Meetings, and other statutory registers of the company are available for inspection as statutorily required. Before we proceed to transact the business on the agenda, let me introduce the members of the board of your company and the company secretary. As you might have known, my name is Adedotun Sulaiman, chairman of your company. I joined the board of the Cadbury Nigeria PLC as a non-executive director on the 5th of August 2009 and was appointed chairman of the board with effect from 22nd of July 2020. I will introduce Thank you. I will introduce my colleagues on the board. Each director is to stand up briefly on being introduced. Mrs. Oyeyemeka Adeboye, the managing director of the company. Mrs. Adeboye joined the board of Cadbury Nigeria PLC as an executive director on the 30th of November 2008 and attained the position of managing director on the 1st of April 2019. Mr. Ogaga Ologe, the finance director of the company. Mr. Ologe joined the board of Cadbury Nigeria PLC as an executive director on the 1st of April 2019. Mrs. Ibukun Awushika, a director of the company. Mrs. Awushika joined the board of Cadbury Nigeria PLC as a non-executive director on the 22nd of October 2009. Mrs. Kofu Akikugbe, a director of the company. Mrs. Akikugbe joined the board of Cadbury Nigeria PLC as a non-executive director on the 1st of January 2021. Mrs. Sunil Parthasarathi, a director of the company, is not here physically. Pardon? Yeah, I said Mr. Oh, Mr. Mr. Sunil Parthasarathi, a director of the company. Mr. Parthasarathi joined the board of Cadbury Nigeria as a non-executive director on the 1st of February 2018. So while he's not here physically, he has joined us live virtually and can be seen present on the screen. So that is him waving his hand. Ms. Nadia Mohammed, a director of the company. Ms. Mohammed joined the board of Cadbury as a non-executive director on the 1st of January 2021. Again, she's not able to join us physically, but she's joined live virtually. And she's present on the screen. I'm also pleased to introduce Mrs. Fola Akonde, the company secretary, chief counsel of the company. Their respective profiles are contained in the annual general report. Okay. Now, in line with the approval received from the Corporate Affairs Commission for attendance at the meeting by proxies, I would now like to make mention of the following individuals who have been appointed as proxies to represent shareholders who cannot be physically present at this meeting. Myself, Adedotun Sulaiman, Ms. Oyeyemeka Adeboye, Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika, Mrs. Mary Joke Shofolahan, and Pastor Oyelakin Awobode. I also want to introduce the various professional parties who are working with and assisting our company in discharging its responsibilities effectively. The company's auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, is being represented by Mr. Oladele Oladipo. The Nigerian Stock Exchange, represented by Mrs. Lillian Dako. The Securities and Exchange Commission, represented by Amina Tanko. She's not with us yet. Okay, I hear she's joining virtually. Okay. The company registrars, First Registrars Investment Services Limited, represented by Mr. Bayo Olugbemi and Mr. Yaya Lawal. The Corporate Affairs Commission had informed us that they will not be able to attend this meeting. I would also like to introduce members of the Audit Committee of your company. Mrs. Elizabeth Begbaje, Pastor Awobode, and Mrs. Shofolahon. I'll now call on the Company Secretary to read the notice of the meeting on page 5 of the annual report that you have in your hands. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Notice is hereby given that the 56th Annual General Meeting of members of Cadbury Nigeria PLC will be held in the Learning and Development Center, Cadbury Nigeria PLC, Native Jakonde Road, Agidingbi, Ikeja, Lagos, on Wednesday, 16th of June, 2021 at 10 a.m. to transact the following business. Ordinary business. First, to lay before the meeting the audited financial statements of the company for the year ended 31st of December 2020. The report of the directors together with the reports of the auditors and the audit committee thereon. 2, to disclose the remuneration of managers of the company. 3, to declare a dividend. 4, to elect and re-elect directors. 5, to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the independent auditors. 6, to elect members of the audit committee. Special business. To consider and, if thought fit, pass the following resolution as an ordinary resolution of the company. That subject to the issued provisions of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, namely the rules governing transactions with related parties or interested persons, a general mandate be and is hereby renewed for the company to enter into recurrent related party transactions for the company's day-to-day operations, including the procurement of goods and services on normal commercial terms in compliance with the Nigerian Stock Exchange rules. The directors be and are hereby authorized to complete and do all such acts and things, including executing all such documents as may be required to give effect to the transactions as authorized by this ordinary resolution. Lastly, to approve the remuneration of the directors. The notes to the notice. Proxies. In view of the COVID-19 pandemic, attendance at the AGM shall only be by proxy. The company has obtained the approval of the Corporate Affairs Commission to hold the AGM by proxy. A member entitled to attend and vote at the AGM as advised to select from the unlisted proposed proxies to attend and vote in his stead. First, Mr. Adedosu Sulaiman, MFR. B, Mrs. Oyeyimika Adeboye. C, Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika. D, Mrs. Mary Joke Shofalahon. And E, Pastor Oyelakin Awobode. A proxy form is attached to the annual report. All instruments of proxy must have been deposited at the registered office of the company or the office of the registrars. First, Registrars and Investors Services Limited, number 2, Abebe Village Road, Igomu, or sent to info@firstregistrarsnigeria.com. and e-business at firstregistrarsnigeria.com, Lagos, not later than 48 hours before the time for holding the meeting. All instruments of proxy shall be at the company's expense. The closure of register. The register of members and transfer book will be closed from the 17th of May 2021 to 21st of May 2021, both days inclusive, for the purpose of updating the register of members. Dividend payments. If the payment of dividend is approved at the meeting, the accounts of the shareholders with the appropriate e-dividend mandate will be posted or credited on Thursday, 17th of June 2021, to holders of shares whose names appear in the register of members as at the close of business on the 14th of May 2021. Unclaimed dividend. Shareholders are hereby informed that some dividend have been returned to the registrars as unclaimed. Affected members are by this notice advised to contact the registrars, First Registrars and Investors Services Limited, Plot 2, Abebe Village Road, Igomu, Lagos, for resolution. Election of the Audit Committee. In accordance with Section 404, subsection 6 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2020, any member or shareholder may nominate another shareholder as a member of the Audit Committee by giving written notice of such nomination to the Company Secretary at least 21 days before the annual general meeting. Section 404, subsection 5 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 provides that all the members of the Audit Committee shall be financially literate, and at least one member shall be a member of a professional accounting body in Nigeria, established by an act of the National Assembly. The Code of Corporate Governance issued by the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria also provides that members of the Audit Committee should be financially literate and be able to read and interpret financial statements. In view of the same, we therefore requested that nominations be accompanied by a copy of the nominee's curriculum vitae. E-dividend mandate. Shareholders are kindly requested to update their records and advise First Registrars and Investor Services Limited of the updated records and relevant bank accounts for payment of their dividends. Detachable forms in respect of mandate for e-dividend payment and shareholder data update are attached to the annual report for convenience. The forms can be downloaded from First Registrars and Investor Services Limited website at www.firstregistrarsnigeria.com. The duly completed form should be delivered to First Registrars and Investor Services Limited, number 2, Abebe Village Road, Igomu, Lagos. The rights of shareholders to ask questions. Pursuant to Rule 1912, subsection C of the Nigerian Stock Exchange Limited's Rulebook 2015, please note that it is the right of every shareholder to ask questions, not only at the meeting, but also in writing prior to the meeting. We urge that such questions be submitted to the office of the Company Secretary not later than 1 week before the date of the meeting. Electronic information. Relevant documents in connection with the meeting are available to all shareholders from the date of this meeting on the company's website, www.cadburynigeria.com. Live streaming of AGM. This AGM will be streamed live online. This will enable shareholders and other stakeholders who will not be attending physically to follow the proceedings. The link for the AGM live streaming will be made available on the company's website at www.cadburynigeria.com. Dated this 24th day of March 2021 by order of the board. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do I have your permission to sit down? Thank you. He's a young man indeed. Thank you very much. So thank you, Mrs. Akonde, for that. I now present to you the chairman's statement, which you will find on pages 15 to 17 of the annual report. Comments on the statement will be taken during the question and answer sessions after the laying of the accounts. Now, again, do I have a permission to take it as read? Thank you very much. The first item on our agenda this morning is to lay before the shareholders the financial statements of the company for the year ended 31st December 2020 and the report of the directors together with the reports of the auditors and the audit committee thereon. I will now call on the representative of the auditors to present their report, which is on page 55 of the annual report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The independent auditor's reports can be found on pages 55 to 58 of the annual report and financial statements. Having been circulated along with the annual report, I would like to seek the permission of the shareholders and the chairman to just restrict my presentation to the report on the audit of the financial statements on page 55, as well as the report on other legal and regulatory requirements on page 58.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Page 55. Independent Auditor's Report to the members of Cadbury Nigeria PLC. Report on the audit of the financial statements. Our opinion. In our opinion, Cadbury Nigeria PLC's financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the company as at 31st of December 2020 and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standards and the requirements of the Companies and Allied Matters Act and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act. Page 58. Report on other legal and regulatory requirements. The Companies and Allied Matters Act requires that in carrying out our audit, we consider and report to you on the following matters. We confirm that, 1, we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purposes of our audit. 2, the company has kept proper books of accounts so far as appears from our examination of those books, and returns adequate for our audit have been received from branches not visited by us. 3, the company's statement of financial position and statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts, signed Oladele Oladipo for PricewaterhouseCoopers, dated 24th March 2021. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I will now call on the chairman of the Audit Committee, Pastor Larry Awobode, to present the Audit Committee's report, which is on page 51 of the annual report.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, and all other protocols duly observed. This is the report of the Audit Committee on the accounts of the Cadbury Nigerian PLC. In compliance with Section 404, subsection 7 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act of Nigeria, we have 1, reviewed and ascertained that the accounting and reporting policies adopted by the company are in accordance with applicable legal requirements and agreed ethical practices. 2, review the scope and planning of audit requirements and found them satisfactory. 3, appraised the financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2020 and are satisfied with the explanations provided. 4, reviewed the company's system of accounting and internal control and found them effective. 5, revealed the external auditor's management report for the year ended 31st December 2020 and are satisfied that management is taking appropriate steps to address issues and comments noted in the report. The independent auditors confirmed management's full cooperation in the course of the performance of their duties, and that they were not limited in any way by the company and its management. Signed by Pastor Oyelakin Lanre Awobode, the chairman of the audit committee, and other members of the committee are Mrs. Mary Jokeso Folahan, Mrs. Elizabeth Begbaje, Mr. Adedotun Sulaiman, Mr. Suni Patasarati, and Mrs. Ibukun Awosika, dated 24th March 2021. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Awobode. Ladies and gentlemen, I now lay the financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2020 before you. We shall now entertain some questions on the chairman's statement earlier presented and the financial statements. Please.
The chairman of Cadbury Nigerian PLC, directors of the company, very distinguished shareholder, good morning. My name is Ikeja Boniface, the national chairman of Progressive Shareholder Association Nigeria. Mr. Chairman, I want to take my comment from page 5. That's the notice convening the meeting. Mr. Chairman, it has become a tradition now because of the COVID-19. Even the thing have been lower than Nigeria. It is no more unprecedented as we see when it started. But you can see politicians today in activity, politicians, it's almost a full house, a crowd, a marketplace. But when they come to shareholders, they want to limit. They will tell you 20, 50, thereabout. And this company I'm hiding under that. And we're now living under the mercy of the company secretary to select who will be attending the meeting. I think we need to change that titles. And I'm appealing to CAC not to be given this kind of approval any longer. Even have a 50 limited number of people, 100, let it be, so that other shareholders will have an ample opportunity to attend their AGM, which once in a year. Nigeria is something as a foreign country that things happen. In fact, the people will always maintain that stand, will never come down to, even when the disease are out of the country or whatever. You see politicians in their campaign, in their meeting, they all full jump back the whole hall. No even distance being observed in Nigeria, in the government, those who are ruling out, the political elite. But when they come to shareholder or churches, they will detect how many number of people to attend. I think this nonsense has to stop in this country. Because the politicians are cheating the masses. In everywhere they're exploiting the situations. And that's why we're facing today in the country. And that's why the country is not moving forward. So the regulator has to be careful the way they do things. Because there's no law gazetted those things. It's just by pronouncement, it's not a law. So we have to be careful. We must be careful, not franchise other shareholders attending AGMs. Political rally, there are no restrictions. There's no restriction, and they're not dying in the epidemic. Please, we need to be careful, the corporate body. We should not send bad precedent in attending meeting. That's number one. Number two, Mr. Chairman, on page 2, financial highlight of this account. Mr. Chairman, today, the purchasing power of the masses is nothing to write home about. Nigerians have turned the capital poverty of the world. There's no gainsaying. And that's the truth. That's the true fact. No matter what government does to abbreviate it, it doesn't work. Nigeria remains the poor capital poverty of the world. And that's why we're not buying anything. We produce. Today, 9 gram of our product is selling almost 3,000 in the supermarket. How do we just make money? If somebody cannot afford 2,700 something to buy a 9 kilogram of our product, Bonvita, which is our main product, Mr. Chairman, then we're in trouble. We're in trouble. The other one, I could remember his kilo, you know, the medium one, is about 1,000 something in the market. How many homes can afford that? And that's why our sales, if you look at revenue, we just managed 35 billion from 4, and again 39 last year, Mr. Chairman. You can see how things are playing out. The purchasing power is not there for ordinary Nigerians to buy those things, beverages, put on the dining table for the entire family to make use of. It's not everybody that take all these sugary things, you know, by the way. But at there's some age, you maybe take once in a while, and then at night you want to relax. You take, okay, let me take Bonvita with hot water or warm water. Mr. Chairman, how many homes can afford it? But I'm just giving you retail because I buy those products for my children. With those are going back to school. Many are not buying it again. Maybe we need to resort back to the sachet, because we know when the one other milk producers started being those things, including the ones that are already established, already known, they never know they were going to be threatening. So they now resorted making sachet. Cadbury were doing it before, sachet in a Bonvita. Why do we have to discard it and we're no longer producing sachet? Mr. Chairman, why are we no longer producing sachet or Bonvita? So that the hand, whatever your hand can lay upon, you can be able to purchase it for your families. We cannot just join bad wagons, and we cannot make good sales because the prices are relatively high. By the way, we have the raw material locally. What does it take to process the cocoa so that we can be able to bring our price down? Because they are competitors. Others highly are competing with you. If we make it relatively cheap, people will buy because since our product is excellent. I have no doubt about that. The quality of product we're selling out there. But the price is also pushing people not to patronize us. We need to look into it. Mr. Chairman, we can't come here approving 1 kobo dividend, you know. It's totally unacceptable. Look at our earning per share. 50 kobo. Mr. Chairman, it's totally unacceptable. We can't continue in this manner to run this company. We produce, we're not selling much. That's the truth, because the prices are too high. No matter what about person talked here today, the management have done their best. Their best is not big enough to have the bigger cake to share. That's where we are. We reduced our holding how many years ago to make way. But today, we have been affected, we are not even compensated. The dividend is not even matching up what we reconstructed. Our shares have been reduced. Mr. Chairman, we're sitting here talking about 8 naira, 7 naira per share of price, about equity. It is not, it's not, you know, it's not. I'm not happy where things are playing out. I'm not happy. Mr. Chairman, that also alludes to your statement on page 15. On page 15, the chairman's statement. The chairman were praising the government that opened the border. I don't know when the border were open. Is it the one in the north or the one in the south, Mr. Chairman? I want the chairman to elaborate. When the border opened on page 15, apart from the pandemic August 2019 and land border closure announced by the government, lasted for 16 months. Manufacturer and government only announced reopening of the land borders on December 2020, few days to the implementation of African Continental Free Trade Area, AFETA, policy which takes effect from 1st of January 2021. Manufacturer mostly bore the bond. While the closure lasted, we had to ship in our hot chocolate, 3-in-1 drink from Ghana to Nigeria by sea, which is inexpensive. Is it not so expensive today? Are we crossing through the border? That's the truth. Mr. Chairman, things you don't produce, and a neighboring country here is producing it for our sister plant, we should be able to carry by road. And that's why we created a road, a national gateway, for you to have a link to other border, not on the by high sea. We're not exporting to America or Asia or even South Africa to follow by sea. and have how many ports in Nigeria? Why should Lagos only functional port we have? And that's why we're having problem. Government is not thinking to discongest the port. Everything like jam-pack here, another port are lying fallow. Why we not have challenges in the country? And when somebody now praise the government, when did they open the border? As far as I'm concerned, the border still remain lucky and locked. Other part of the country, the border is open, porous, open. These are coming in. Even during the pandemic, when they say lockdown, it is only the south that border still under key and lock. It's affected the whole manufacturers, including all the brewery sectors, including Nigerian, all the breweries. You can't sell across other borders. But in the Republic here, you can't go to the border and sell, carry the goods. All that will produce, can be consumed alone. And that will have border African neighboring country, to push our goods out there. They used to come here, it's like a go market to buy. Are they forthcoming? No, they're not forthcoming. Mr. Chairman, you people that have the corridor of power, when you're appointed in government agency, you align with them, collude with them, you don't longer speak the truth. That's why we are. Nobody speaks truth to the powers. Everybody afraid to die, afraid of arrest. That's what we are today. And we are operating democracy, which is a free society, free talk. Criticize. Give the government the truth. We are no longer doing it. Even as a white hair, which is not wisdom and knowledge. That's why God has given you white hair. It's not because we are 80 something or thereabout. No. Mr. Chairman, time has come for us to speak truth to powers. And this country will be saved from trouble we're in. That's the only way out. Mr. Chairman, that border have never opened. Let them open the border properly so that goods can cross across the country. That's where we can make money. That's where we can shift what we produce here, they don't produce over there. It's not by sea. By the time they go there, they perish. The expiring date is almost on the hand, and we'll care more loss. Mr. Chairman, apart from tax credit we got, that also may pay this dividend, made it a profit after tax, it couldn't have been possible. That's it. So we need to double up, and I want to commend the management for being prudent, managing properly the way they have seen things in reality. They are not extravagant. I want to commend them for that, Mr. Chairman, I want to also commend for award that we award, especially the MD, even though the MD does not give her own report of the year performance. We don't see, there's no MD report here. We have said this in time past. The MD must give us a report of her scorecard, at the AGMs. Madam, you don't give you a report. It's not written here verbatim, except chairman that took patient pen to write his own report, Madam, you didn't do yours. It's not acceptable. We need to have that. You must tell us the director's report, apart from chairman's statement, That's why you're MD, how you are piloted, how you directed proceedings for the financial year we are discussing. You give us this, it's very important. I want to commend the company secretary of corporate affairs, bringing the pictures of activities last year. The shareholder were problem featured. It's not those ones other companies showcase their product as if it's their in-house magazines. This report is made for the shareholders. And when we come here and see the picture, we want to commend her. I think Fola have been doing that. Bringing the pictures of meeting with this. Some doesn't show. Even who attended with the mask, they don't show it. They bring the pictures of funfair. They carried out, the marketing sales, they bring it. Yes, it's good to advertise our product in our annual report. But mention shareholder, don't shortchange them. We have been shortchanged in every area, operations. In every area. The position will come cap in hand, you give to them. The rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer. The shareholder don't give to them, even a palliative. Do they give anything to shareholders? No. They say you should not give a gift. But they are carrying away. We are doing it. I say, is it part of corporate governance? That the company cannot want the manufacturer to give to the shareholders? Even a pandemic, even if you don't give at the AGM, even if you don't send at the Christmas time. These people come here to support you. And the same regulator that carry their own, you give to them one way or the other. Mr. Chairman, we need to rethink in this country. I am telling you honestly, this country is something else. And if we continue what's happening in this country, one would die of hypertension. This country can drive people mad. What's going on here? We can't be commenting what we see and what we hear. Mr. Chairman, we can't go here today. I want to commend the staff workforce. They have done their best, but they have to also do more, that will get more dividend. On page 62, I think, let me see something there. Sorry, I'm taking our time, but I'm almost rounding up. Mr. Chairman, like I said earlier, on page 62, we can see the other administrative expenses and what have you. I think the company have shown resilient, imprudent, in reality on ground, by way they have run the affair of the company. I think it's also commendable. Mr. Chairman, I am also worried about this trade payable, which is on page. We need to watch that, because we need to also show that we're a good corporate entity. Somebody do business with you, we need to also pay in time. Other payable, where do I see it? Page 80. Page 82, Mr. Chairman. The chairman highest paid director. Chairman, why did their pay went to high to 13.2 million as against 9.2? What happened? In page 82, on page 82. What happened? They jump. Also, highest paid director, 122.4 million as against 117 previous year. What happened? Why this sudden increase? Mr. Chairman, we need explanation. Because if we don't have sudden increase on dividend, why must we also have this sudden increase on directors' payment? On page 80, especially by nature. Mr. Chairman, raw material and packaging, like I said earlier, we have our raw material in Ondo State. Ondo State. Is the other thing, the package foilings, all this and that, that will govern all this amount of money, 18.something billion, as against 17. We need to watch that. We need to watch that. Raw material, raw and packaging materials. We need to also watch that. Energy utilities, yes, it's also coming down. It's also coming down. It's also coming down. I want to commend, because you're relying on the diesel, what have you, to power the plant. That's the truth. Energy utilities is a cost, because you provide virtually everything for yourselves. The power is not there, but the bill comes. You pay. That's what they're billing you. Maintenance, yes, that's good one. Repairs and maintenance, that's good one. Royalties, that's also a good one. Professional consultant, professional fees and subscriptions. Mr. Chairman, we didn't say last year. Why is it up this year, 240 million, when we didn't have any last year? What happened? What led to that? We need also explanations. Consultancy, professional fees and subscriptions, we need that explanation. Mr. Chairman, I have also quoted here, travel and entertainment. When there's lockdown, we spend 230 million as against 134. What happened? I need explanation. Because we're under lockdown. There's no more travel on hotel, whatever. Why did that expenses go high? We need explanation on that. We need explanation on that. Have you seen it, Mr. Chairman? We need explanation on that. Why did it go high? We need explanation on that. Mr. Chairman, I want to also commend the company for giving out back to society, even the area we operate. But it must also extend beyond the environment we operate. It must extend beyond that. There's a hunger in the land. In the pandemic, you donated, yes, but let it go merry-go-round. It is not only one particular area that we should do our donations. It must be reflected, because this product is going wide, far and near. All the nations are consuming our product. We should be able to identify some states. Not only in River State, you go to South East and South South, we did something. No. It's unacceptable. In the whole entire Southeast, I didn't see anything done there. Mr. Chairman, I didn't see anything done there. In the entire Southeast, that's totally unacceptable. The corporate affairs should also take note of that, when they are doing these donations. Mr. Chairman, it must reflect the great spread of the nations. Even the time we're in need of giving out to the society during the pandemic, we should not change some areas. Mr. Chairman, I think the page 104, that's my last comment, where I did trade and other payables. You can see it higher there. So we need to settle our customers before they can settle all those who are owing us. Trade receivables, it's also gone, I want to commend the company, it's also gone down from 4.something to 2.7. Mr. Chairman, I think with this account, we need to work hard in our earning. That's the only way. All indices are okay. You have managed within the time frame. They're able to run that fear of the company. But we need to improve on our earning. 34 billion naira revenue is not good at all. It's not good at all. I want to commend us, God, with also interest earning is coming down. We need to make it 127 million as again 185. We need to work hard on that. We're also paying interest, 1.something billion, as again 3 billion will have, borrow in the bank. There's no way manufacturer cannot borrow, have access to borrow for bank to do business. Any person saying that they are deceiving ourselves. We must have access to the bank to borrow to do our business, because we're not coming to the market now to raise money. But then, if we are doing that, we must be also cautious. If interest loads are lower, there's no quarrel borrowing from the bank to do your business, as long as we have the ability to repay as and when due, because most of us are also shareholders in those banks. Mr. Chairman, I want also commend that, brought in materials and services, we need to also what that is also coming down. Imported goods, 3.74 billion, again 0.8 is coming down. If you have technical partners are paying, they should be able to transfer the technology to us. That's why we have partner with them. They are owners of the company. Let manufacture those things. There's a lot of things you did in the picture here. Some of these biscuits are not being seen here. Most of us that eat biscuits, they are not being seen here. We just bring the picture displays. Our partner, our parent company, this is what they produce. We should also replicate producing those things here locally. That's what you should be doing. They should give that technology. It's their company that we can produce this here, not importing, from them to sell. No. That is how the royalty we are paying. Otherwise, royalty we are paying is in vain. It's in vain, Mr. Chairman. They must help us to develop some of the product here. I'm really available in our market, so that that's the only way we can drive our business. Bombito alone cannot give all the money we need, or Tonton. Thank God that people are purchasing Tonton, which is good, to clear the throat. It's working. Even if you have cough, maybe mixed with bitter cola, it's also working. It's work magic. And thank God for that product, Mr. Chairman, but we need to increase our volume of product in other areas. Cocoa can give us. There's two today. I buy some cocoa powders that is not another mix. Pure cocoa. I bought those in supermarket. We should also packaging it here, since you have the raw materials. That will also help us to earn revenue. Having said that, Mr. Chairman, I look forward by next year, we should be able to do more than we have done today. Thank you and God bless.
Please try to come up with fresh and new points and not what may have been covered, if I may ask. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the records, my name's Nona Awu. But Chairman, if you called Boniface Okeze before anybody, and he finished all the questions that needed to be asked, you can be rest assured that there will be no other questions that will be coming. But talking seriously, Mr. Chairman, when I read this account and read the chairman's statement, and you said about, that's on page 15, you said about 20 people attended the meeting. I said, Chairman must be right. Because if you use height in recognizing those who attend. I'm sure Okezie will not be equal to one whole. It will be a fraction. But talking seriously, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to take my presentation from a remark that I made when the MD was appointed and when the finance director was appointed, because I keep records. The issue that I raised is that please let your appointment be the beginning of better things to come for Cadbury, and that will also give other Nigerians the opportunity to occupy that same position. Okay? Because you're coming in after how many years when Bumi only left? And we don't think that is the route that we should go back to. But having said that, Mr. Chairman, 55 years anniversary. For me, that's also remarkable. In the third world, the life expectancy of very many nations in Africa is not up to 55 years. For an organization to have lived 55 years, it also becomes remarkable, like I said. But let me take you to where my concern is, and hence I started from the reminder. In 2018, the yield that you paid on the dividend, these are my calculations based on the dividend and the share price in the market, 1.12% dividend yield. 2019, it rose to 2.2%. 2020, it was 5.29%. And in that year, you had a payout of 86%. 2021, having been marked for the 19 kobo dividend, the payout was 38%, the yield 1.9%. I want this to be taken in context of the fact that you have 72,000 plus shareholders. And in the year under review, you had the profit after tax drop by 13%. 13, not 30, 1-3. The share price dropped by 15%. And the dividend that you are paying from 49 to 18 represents a drop of 63%. So what is going on? What is going on? I know one of the answers that the chairman is likely to give, because I know that two of you are directors who own shares in the company. Yes, the law does not require you to own shares. But the answer you are likely to give, that you are also a shareholder and the dividend applies to you. You may not be correct if that is the answer you want to give. So let me help you before you come to giving that answer. Okezie interestingly said the chairman's fee went up. He didn't realize that the year under review, there were two chairmen in one. Okay, that I appreciate. But even at that, you earn chairman's fee. So you don't feel the pain that the other Nigerians who are minority shareholders feel. I use the word minority because even the technical agreement fee also had a price to our foreign partners. So the people who has changed in a year that even in your statement said inflation was almost 16% are the minority. Does it mean that we don't have regards for our minority shareholders? Mr. Chairman, I don't think this is fair. Even if you look at the staff structure as indicated on page 81, yes, we had 39 persons short vis-a-vis what we had last year. There was an improvement in their pay. So why should we be punished? Why should we be punished? Chairman, I am assuring you, you will pay interim dividends. I'm assuring you, if you want us to support you and support this team, you must pay interim dividends. Because I've also looked at the cash flow. Your cash flow is not worse than it was last year. By the way, what is our dividend policy? Because I told you, last year you paid There was payout of 86%. This year, less than 40%. In a year that we only had a 13% drop in profit. Mr. Chairman, let me also amuse you because you're an accountant. I am not. If you look at this account on page 82, 62, and 37, we had tax credit of 524 million. And you know how much you are paying us in dividends? And the bulk of this is going to the foreign partner. You are paying us 338 million. 300 out of the tax credit that you even have. I'm not talking about dividend that have gone stale. This board is not being fair to us in the decision they took in the payout in 2020 account. You have not been fair to us. And like I said, I will be demanding on behalf of the other shareholders, even if the dividend you are going to pay us next year is going to be 10 kobo, you must pay us interim. You must pay us interim as a way of compensating to the punishment that you've given us. Mr. Chairman, I also want to draw your attention. He talked about the issue of cocoa, which is also a challenge for me. If you look at page 106, sales of intermediate cocoa products, I am asking, can't we add additional value to the cocoa product that we have here, so that when we export a better finished product, we'll get better foreign exchange, rather than send the intermediate products to Europe and America, and they send us the item back very many times, 20 times the price of what we are selling to them. What is that we can do? Because that's one of the ways we can also begin to address this lopsidedness between us and the foreign partners. We can't continue this way. If we want this industry to survive, we can't continue this way. By the way, Mr. Chairman, I didn't find anywhere here where the foreign partners are also paying us royalty. Because one of the things I do remember that was said before you came on board was that following what we did with our cocoa plants, we were expected to be paid royalty for the design of one of the things. So what is it that is happening in that regard? So it's not just we paying, and paying. And in this regard, Mr. Chairman, on page 96 and 97, you have research and development plus quality. And we pay one to Europe, we pay one to Reading. Why do we pay two different costs for the same service? Why are we paying two different costs? Oh, because they want to continually make sure that we're underdeveloped. They put all the charges on us. If our children want to go to school in their country, we pay 4 or 5 times what their own children are paying. Meanwhile, when it comes to us, they take everything from us for free and then ask us to come and pay with our lives. Mr. Chairman, I am not also certain, because I heard the auditors read their statement, and I also haven't read it on page 58. The auditors claim that branches not visited by them. And I'm wondering, which branches do you have? And how many branches do you have? And by the way, how many branches did they visit? So it's not a cut and paste like we have in... It's important because what I have in this account on page 113 is that you have distributors. Okay, you didn't tell me nowhere in this account did you state the issue of branches. So where do you have the branches? How many of them? How many did they visit? Mr. Chairman, okay, they spoke to the fact that there are so many pictures on page 10 and 13. Page 10 and 13. It's showing so many things that, and I'm wondering, are we just a distributor for those products, or we have the intention of producing them? Because if we are not, they charge us technical agreement fee. We take free adverts for them. And then at the end of the day, you pay us less dividend. Eh? I don't think it is fair, Mr. Chairman. I don't think it is fair. Mr. Chairman, let me close on the notes of what you also have on page 82. and on page 82, you're doing a description of the pay structure to directors. And then you put nil to a particular level. Which of the directors are not earning director's fee? We need to be told. That's why we can also appreciate their generosity. Huh? But I don't think what you should have there should be nil. If you probably said 1, it probably will even 0 has a different connotation to nil. Okay? Mr. Chairman, I am not too certain that on page 114 that you have a dividend history without remembering how much you paid in terms of dividends. And I think this relates to the company secretary. Madam Company Secretary, please, when you redo page 114 for next year, don't tell us the dates in which an unknown dividend was paid. I know we have an unknown soldier, but put the date that dividend was paid and put the amount that dividend was paid. Okay, so that way you have a fuller information than just putting the date. Okay? Where possible, put the outstanding dividend for those years as well, so we'll be in a position to better understand what our unpaid dividend profile is also all about. Mr. Chairman, I take interest in every word that any company puts in an annual account. Every word. Time permitting me. And if I haven't read the account, I most likely will not raise any questions or avoid attending the meeting. But if I look at page 20 to 22, there is an LCM of secured ID. I hope it's not a coincidence. Secured ID, you know what I'm talking about. I hope it's not a coincidence, because that was one of the major challenges that brought the first major crisis that Cadbury had. Okay? Schoolboy relationship. Okay? And I hope that is not what I'm seeing here again. Because I come from a village where I'm told that once beaten, 10 times you must run. Huh? And I also think that in this account, there's something that is fundamentally not well presented. If you look at page 22, it is stated there that Mr. Woshika is a director then of First Bank. And First Bank is one of our bankers. And it was also stated that Atedopita side was with Stanbic IBTC. But the disclosure as to the relationship that we had with Stanbic was disclosed. But nothing was said of First Bank. So, is it also a coincidence or an omission? Because I expect that in this account, given what has even happened now, that the disclosure will have been far more than you have done. Even if we didn't have any transaction, any business with First Bank, let it be stated. That way, people will be avoided from taking interpretations that will not be the same. But Mr. Chairman, I was also expecting that for this meeting, Mr. Woshika shouldn't have been here, with due respect. I was thinking that you brought in Kofo as a replacement for her. Given what has happened in First Bank, I am not sure that very many persons will be ready to stand for what she stands for. And so on that ground, since in this account it's also not been stated who represents who in terms of grouping, who is representing the foreign partner is never indicated, who is representing minority is never indicated. The best anybody can say is that the finance director and the MD are standing as professionals on this board, being on contract or on term that is probably also not disclosed here. But it's important that for the benefit of what Cadbury had gone through in the past, we don't pray for another one, that Mr. Woshika should step down, and we appreciate her service. Having been on the board already, this is the 13th year. By the way, do we have a tenure system? Or people can just stay till thy kingdom come? Thank you very much for the opportunity.
I stand on the existing protocol. One has been established by the company secretary. My name is Benga Idowu. I wear so many caps, though one is on my head right now. I'm the managing director of Center for Shareholders Enlightenment Limited by Guarantee. Definitely I can sue you. I can sue anybody. So, and then we can be sued too. We have a faculty actually dealing with all these issues. And also, I'm the National Coordinator of Shareholder United Front. But all those ones are ancient history, as far as I'm concerned. First, the last speaker, I want to say some of us in the country, our reputation are being peddled by those who benefit by it. So not that we have been devaluated or not, we stand by our integrity or what we stand for, and we should represent that. We should always give ourselves where honors are due. We should not take ourselves to cleaners. First of all, I wanted to start on a very fighting mood first. Even by this account, first, I don't know what I'm doing here. Because you have proxies. You listed the proxies. Nobody has talked about, where did I come here? What am I doing? I don't know. So I think there's a proper thing they need to do for integrity's sake. I don't attend any meeting if I don't know the status of that meeting. I don't. My name is Benga Idowu. I don't. I come here, there are proxies, you listed the proxies. I'm sitting down here. Nothing mentioned about my coming here. I think, please, it shouldn't be done for future's sake. Even there are some meetings, they list some people, but at that meeting, they will say, we acknowledge these people as stakeholders or whatsoever. But just coming here, they have proxy, I'm not proxy. I don't know if you do. What am I doing? I don't know. I think they need to fine-tune those ones very well as we go along the line. Be that as it may, if you really permit it, say I should be at this meeting, then I better start talking. I want to address page 2. Page 2 shows excellent financial wizardry. That's what I can see. Because by going by what is going on in the country, and you pull up this thing, believe you me, the board and management, you did wonderfully well over what the circumstances we are going through. We know what is going on in the country. It's not normal. It's not normal. How do you look at a government who don't even know what they are doing? They don't know whether they are going forward or they are going backward. They close one border, they open another border. You don't even really know. There are so many inconsistencies, and out of it, you are able to put up this one. Believe in me, you've done well. I appreciate that. It's a hard work. I know the managing director is a cerebral woman, so also the chairman too. So I'm not really the financial director. I'm beginning to assess him too. Maybe it is another wizard in that area. But I wish you well. Our God will continue to keep you well for Cadbury. Cadbury is a very, very emotional company to us, judging by the recent past and what we are going through. So we should be very careful that we know what we are doing. First of all, our raw material company at Ondo or whatever is what we have. Please, the board should be able to look at this one proactively. How you can really pull this company out with what we have there and then give a very good policy which you can give the management to execute. Because those are the strong things we have. Not because of a company, but as a people. We need it. Employment, we must use it to really get us out of this wood that we are in. Page 3. I want to look at page 3. I don't know, maybe I don't understand English too much. But when you are asking me, say that something is about snack. In Nigeria, if somebody is selling you snack, do you see snack as sweet? I don't see. But where do you have? You have gari, you have eba, you have, and then you are talking refreshment. I don't know. Refreshment even at that. It depends on the small children who are dealing with it. But if you are saying snack, please, I think your corporate department, they need to go and work, do research on that word for the company. Snack. What's snack? No, we are looking at so many issues. I know that one meeting I attended there, when we suggested a competition between PZ and the Tom, by then, the financial director, the present MD, was saying the reason why they were playing with the size of those things because of the price wars. Yes, I agree, but what has really gone after that? What have you done as a development? All this funny Mindele that. If it is cocoa, I'm sure you can craft it so many things. Let the people buy into Cadbury as our own. Then they cannot begin, and they do too. You move, let people feel it, and then we continue to do. Bonfita, I don't go for it before. I go for Milo. But after question here, when I asked last chairman, and the kind of work you have done to really bring that price down at that time, I've been looking at Bonfita. I've been using Bonfita, and I find it very good. These are the kind of things I want from the management and the board to make Cadbury our own, rather than just this Mendele stuff. Please, what we have, we should celebrate. I agree with what the other speaker has said, though there are some said with emotions. But there are some that talk on the persons. I don't buy into it. I don't. Clients are different. Cadbury is different from other companies. If I want to deal with other companies at their meeting, I will go there and deal with it there. Cadbury, the best hand you can get, use them very well. People are busy talking that experience doesn't matter. It has not gone out of fashion. It has not. What you have, keep them. I wish you well.
Thank you very much, our dear chairman, and I say welcome and good morning to the chairman and the board of directors. Good morning to my fellow shareholders. Robert Ibekwe is my name. I'm a shareholder, and I'm actually here representing or standing in for my principal, Sasoni Musu, who sent his greetings. Sir, I want to actually welcome you on the board. This is your first AGM as the chairman, so I heartily welcome you. And as I can see from the area of the erudite and seasoned administrators and managers on the board, I want to welcome the new directors, the finance director and the chairman, and all members of the directors, because our chairman is of truly, whether we like it or not, is of national acclaim, and of course supported by or backed up by international. If I may say in particular, well, everything having been said, I still recognize our dear Mrs. Awoshika. I want to start my comments and questions by taking you to your statements on page 15. Our chairman. On page 15, you talked about the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Zone. And a lot of, or some of our speakers have talked about the closed borders. So how is the implementation of this free trade area? What is it going to benefit to us? What will be the benefits? What can we derive from it if we are to subscribe to the implementation? The border closure and the use of the African Continental Free Trade Area, how can it benefit us? I want to know from you, Chairman. Also, on that same page, 15 and 16, referring to your statement there, you talked about unclaimed dividend vis-a-vis the information, as can be seen on page 114. That has been mentioned earlier. And truly, on that page 114, I should say that the disclosure there is not full. We don't have full disclosure on page 114, referring to the dividends that were paid over the years and the date of payment. But nothing was said about the amount, the figure. Was it 20 kobo, 30 kobo, 1 naira or so? So we want to know, we want to put that place in our annual report going forward. The provision there did not give full disclosure. We are not provided with the figures for comparison. Also, the dividend of 18 kobo that is being proposed. Like they say, you take what you have and possibly ask for more. I want to thank you for that 18 kobo. But I should say that while thanking you for that, our company is more than 18 kobo or kobo dividends. We should look forward to getting something better going forward. Of course, last year you gave us 49 kobo. And this year, 18 kobo. Many companies actually will say that some of them did even well, I should say even better during the COVID. And our company is producing something that is like everyday intake, with or without COVID. So I don't know why we should maybe talk about that, maybe to deprive us of good dividends. Of course, I've seen your earnings per share. Last year it was 57 kobo, and you gave us 49 kobo. That was good. This year, 50 kobo, and you are giving us 18. Please, sir, we want to look into that. Also, I can see from the table, of course, I did mention that regarding the dividend. You see that over the years, 2007 to 2012, and even 2017, there was no dividends. But the list you have given to us, please, Ma, I want to ask you now, the company secretary, have you taken time to check those that are status barred, those that have not been claimed but are status barred? I want to please say that those that are status barred should not be given to anybody. It has to be plowed back into the company, and no amount should be given whether on loan or to anybody. It's the shareholders' money and the company's money if they are status barred. So that is an appeal I want to make to the company. Well, our shares were reconstructed. So asking for bonus now is like out of place. But since our shares have been reconstructed, I want to appeal, please. It should give us more value. If not in quantity, it should be in quality. dividends, better dividend going forward. So let me take that as my statement, my question, because most of the points I noted down have been mentioned by others. Thank you once again, our chairman. Ibekwe Robert Adenoba remains my name.
Thank you very much. Now I have the lady.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, the regulatory authority present, and the shareholder present, those people watching us online. My name is Mrs. C.O. Opide, National Coordinator of Akoko Shareholder Association, Incorporated. Sir, when I pick up this annual report, in fact, I was glad because it shows our product. Even the inside, there's no way I can take this annual report. I don't need to tell people the product and what Cadbury is doing. It's very amazing, sir. Sir, I am welcoming you on board, but that's it. You need a lot of things to do, and other directors that are here. As the last speaker, Nana will say that you need to give us interim. It is true. You are using honey. Give us a little bit of butter. The butter you gave us is not worth it at all. What shareholder always lament on is dividend, because that's our own reward. Your own reward is more than our own. So we need our reward because we are pensioners. We need our what we reap. We want to gain it. Page 13, sir. I saw some biscuits. I don't know, maybe we are into it or we are about to. Page 13. These are products is for children and for adults. And in Nigeria now, you know, as the situation is, some people prefer to take snacks, biscuits, and other things if they are not at home, at least to keep the body moving. It's a welcome idea if it is our product. But the source of the products, if we start, I don't know, it's in between, it will not break like our other products. In front page, I saw rich choco. Rich choco from Ghana, people love it. And this is a cocoa product. I don't know our own rich choco with Ghana, like my children. The rich choco in Ghana is what they take most. You know, our 3-in-1, the factory is not here. Last year, I spoke on it. They were saying it was brought from Ghana, the cost and everything. Hope the rich choco that we start will not be like 3-in-1. Our 3-in-1 is like Milo. Some people prefer Milo more than Bonvita, but these are 3-in-1. Is even more nutritious than Milo, and because of the factory in Ghana and the means of transporting it, our rich choco here, I want to know, maybe it will not be like the 3-in-1. That's my question, sir. Ikeja is coming, and in another 6 months, Christmas is coming. What are our plans for the promo or for the sales department in selling our product? Because those periods, in my area, I'm from Ijebu, you know, these Muslim people, Ijebu people, love Ikeja so much. And if you get to that aspect. Milo comes with their products. So I don't know what plan our sales department has for those festivals, for those periods. What are the moves they want to make in selling our products? The more our products is being sold, the more shareholder is getting dividend. Why I'm suggesting it, I love money. I'm from partly Abeokuta, so I love money. So I am thinking of where an avenue where we can get money. And my boyfriend, don't disturb me, short man. So I am looking at this avenue. Last year at the stand of trade fair, I did not see Cadbury. So I don't know why, and maybe the product is not always sold, that's why they did not come. I want to know why we were not at the stand. So that I'm looking at avenue, since the second speaker said we need interim dividend. How can this board work hard to get this interim dividend? That's why I'm suggesting those areas for our board. Please, sir, look into it. Thank you very much, and God bless you. And I want to commend our company secretariat. They are doing a great job. When you call or you need to ask some things from them, if you call and they don't pick, they will call you back and tell you those things you need. Madam MD, back to you, ma. You need our support. We need your support. There are some things we've been getting from our company that the thing just stopped suddenly. Look into it. We'll talk one-on-one. You know, we are the one cooking at home for our husband. So we'll talk so that our husband, they will not know what we are saying. Thank you very much.
If it's a short one, yeah, please. Okay.
Chairman, sorry, I made a comment before my colleague spoke on one of us, a lady I hold in high esteem, who also paid a price in corporate world, in corporate governance. A case that happened in First Bank, Mr. Chairman, I'm not holding brief for anybody. I've said it because of the way we do things in this country, in military fiat. We caution CBN what happened in First Bank. Mr. Woseka as a person holding the First Bank Limited, not Hoko or whatever. Then even the directors they asked to go did not run the bank aground. That's the truth. Because a MD was removed. And this bank, any company, Mr. Woseka today, if she secures the election, I will vote her back. Because she has contributed her dues to grow the company. She can only be stopped for now in having director position in a bank, not in any company, in a bank. But if that issue had been resolved, she can hold any position in the bank. But that's for now, because she's not been indicted. She's not been charged in law court. But she's been in an arbitrary way of doing things in this country. Regulators are reckless. You ask the director to go. If you ask them to take a decision and rescind that decision, you should have communicated to them. You say, we'll call full court, they didn't ask you. Because that is way style of doing things. The cost in 2007 and 2008 is also hurting the banking industry today. What they did have not been remedied. Most of them went to court to challenge. Even the appointment of SYCBN then, to challenge his qualification, not by paper. Does he merit to be CBN governor at the time he was appointed? I went to court to challenge such issues, If somebody has been indicted, does nothing stop her serving in, or he in any company that she can contribute her quote to growth. Mr. Woseka and he have contributed to growth of Cadbury. Because I think that board had it, Peter Side have left after serving, he said, look, it's time for moved on. Yeah, moved on. When the time comes to, Mr. Woseka, without being stampede or pressure, we leave. After, he said, yeah, this time for me to take back seat, let other young take over, she will do that. But as long as She is doing well in the company, and the company have not found her wanting. She continue to serve. I just want to create that erroneous impression that she have nothing done wrong in even the bank itself. God bless all of you.
Thank you very much. No, sorry. No, I'm sorry. No. Please sit down. Sorry. Can I listen to him, please? Yeah. No. Look. Okay, but let me listen to him first. Sit down.
Mr. Chairman, sir, anytime, anywhere, where I stand, integrity is the key word. Don't take sides. You give A 5%, give B 5%. You are giving Ikeja point of observation to come and speak. So also you are called Mr. Nona would say we are to make our value judgment based on submission. But you are impartial. You give Nana his own.
Well, what I want to avoid. No, sorry. Wait. Just can I please speak? So let me speak. What I want to avoid is that I don't want to have a ding dong on a particular issue. This is not the venue for it. Okay. Make it very brief and straight to the point.
Mr. Chairman, with due respect, every society that has developed based on one rule for one game, not two rules for one game. As a director of any organization, like all of you are here, you have your individual responsibility to Cadbury. You also have a collective responsibility to Cadbury. If she sits on First Bank that generates the biggest size of First Holding and things went wrong, you shouldn't be telling her where to be. Inside the, with due respect, when you are speaking, just shut your mouth with due respect. Just shut your mouth. Huh? You see, when you begin to have...
Mr. Ikeja, please. Hey. No.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Ikeja, please.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, please.
In this business, it is not about talking. The investment business is about knowledge. So let people not go around carrying emotion all over the place. Okay? What I am saying is that she should not, whether we want it or not, she's been stained. Representing over 1 million shareholders in First Bank. We shouldn't be telling her where to be, even if she's a saint.
Okay.
That's the issue that I'm raising.
Sure, okay.
And Mr. Chairman, with due respect, because you need to be careful when you begin to have chairmen play into, I don't belong to any association, I don't belong, but please, if Ikeja or anybody wanted to raise question after he has spoken, you should wait for the ordinary course of business, not hijacking. Oh, somebody has spoken, he wants to give a counter. The only person who can give answers to any question that is being raised at an AGM is the chairman and the directors, not the shareholder. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I think we better, if we don't go on now, no, sorry. I'm sorry, we've got to rule this. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. Now, the thing to bear in mind is that, you know, we're all living through very tough times. Very tough times. I mean, the country, the world has been going through very tough times since February last year. So I can understand if emotions are afraid and people are angry and people are hungry and all that kind of thing. perfectly understandable, and a lot of that reflects in the performance that we've just reviewed. We're not living through normal times. We are not. So I think we need to put that in perspective. Hopefully, normality will come back, or a semblance of it, or as they call it, a new normal, when things will stabilize. We can then carry on with our lives the way we knew it. So please, let's have that at the back of our minds, okay? Now, so let me just go through quickly some of the points you raised, and then maybe I'll ask management to assist me in some of the others. The first point you made was about COVID, the format of this AGM. Now, COVID is real. That's the honest truth. Now, we've been lucky as a people, as a continent, we've been spared. But that's not to say that we're out of the woods. What happened in India can very easily happen in Nigeria. So every precaution that we are made to endure for me is a price worth paying to safeguard the life of Nigerians. Because if what happens in India were to happen in Nigeria, I mean, you know what's going to happen. We don't have the facilities, we don't have the structures, we don't have the capacity in any shape or form to deal with it. So anything we need to do, very inconvenient. I find this very inconveniencing, for example, but we've got to do it. That's now, and of course, as a law-abiding organization, the law says no more than 50 people can gather under one roof. That's the context for this. And that 50 doesn't say 50 shareholders, it says 50 persons. And in an AGM, you can see us surrounded by advisors and technical people and so on in the same space. So that's basically our constraint. We hope and pray this time next year, things will go back to normal, we can have a regular AGM and so on, the way we always had it. Now, the point you made again about Nigeria, the state of Nigeria, is very pertinent, being the capital, poverty capital of the world and all that story and so on. Purchasing power, people out of work, there are no jobs and so on. It's a pathetic state yeah. Now it's made worse by factors that we can legitimately say is beyond our control. This COVID, the international, depressed demand for the economies across the world and so on. So all we can hope and pray for two things. Number one, that the world gets better, and our leadership will rise to the occasion. Again, we don't want to go into, we don't want to stray to political discourse and so on. So now, talking about dividends. Dividends is a function of how well the company has performed. I think Cadbury has done exceedingly well given the period we will live through. It's not just the shutdown. I don't know that many of you remember that for a long part of last year, markets were shut, apart from movements being shut. Even when movements were kind of liberalized and so on, markets remained shut. Most of the things we sell are sold through markets and so on. We had to take extraordinary measures to make sure the products kept flowing through the market and so on, but it was a very tough and challenging time that we went through. So again, we are hoping that it will be better this year. Things are looking better, and hopefully, I don't know about interim dividend, but we'll see how we do, and we'll come back to you on that one. Somebody said something about MD's report. Again, everything we do is according to company law. It's not a requirement of company law. I'm not aware of any company where the MD's report is required and is put in the annual general meeting. But you need. Now, the issue about chairman's pay, I think that's. When I saw 13.2 million naira, I didn't get 13.2 million naira. But I think it was a case of 2 chairmen happening in 1 year. Mr. Peter Side resigned halfway through the year, and I stepped into this situation. So hopefully by next year, this will normalize. So, but I didn't get a pay rise for sure. There was issue around branches not visited by us. I would say it's a standard statement in an auditor's report. It applies to businesses where they have branches, like banks and so on. We really don't have branches that way, but I don't know why. I think it's just standard phraseology in the auditor's report. There was some statement about related party disclosures and so on, and then the issue around Mrs. Awoshika being a director of this business. My position, personally, is that what happened in First Bank, has happened in First Bank, is well documented, is in the public discourse and so on. First Bank operates in the financial services sector, which is a highly regulated industry, and the law gives central bank wide-ranging powers to do what they want to do, and the governor of the central bank, in his wisdom, has done what he's done. Now, what that has not been established so far is the personal culpability of any director. And therefore, for now, based on what I know, both public as well as not public, I don't see any reason why Mrs. Awoshika is not qualified to remain a director. She has not been accused of having done anything, either jointly, singly, or whatever. And until that is established, I think she's eminently qualified, very, very eminently qualified to remain a director of this business. And if and when something else happens and it becomes public, Mrs. Awoshika would not need to be told. She will do the right thing. That I know for a fact. So I would say let the whole thing play itself out, because there are lots of things that happen in this country where you don't have the full facts. You don't have the full facts. And therefore, if you are going to take it on the basis of what the little we know, we'll all make a lot of mistakes. A lot of people will be injured unnecessarily and so on. I think that's the situation, you know what's happening in First Bank. So my plea is, as far as I know, there's nothing that will make me even suggest that she should step down. There's no reason for it. And if and when there is a reason for it, I can assure you, Mrs. Awoshika will not wait to be told. She will do the right thing. Okay. Now, there was an issue around the border closure, free trade, and so on. Again, it's all part of the policy of Nigeria. It's very difficult to comprehend what happened when you close the border, opening for a few companies. We close one border, leave some borders open. But the good thing, of course, that the border is now open. I think we've now resumed the importation of 3-in-1 by road. Is that correct? Yeah. I mean, so that extra cost and delays and so on that we suffered during the closure is no more. So 3-in-1 is now very, very, very readily available in the market. I'm talking about products and so on. Again, in answer to the fact that purchasing power is down and so on, you did talk about sachets. We actually do have sachets. This is Bonvita in sachet. You probably wouldn't know it because you don't buy a sachet, but it's available in the market. This 3-in-1 in sachet, in small sachet, is available in the market. So we are doing everything we can. And of course, we also have the refill pack, where you don't have to buy a package and just put this and refill it into something. So our packaging and our sizing and pricing and so on is responsive to what we see in the market. We are aware of purchasing power. The other thing to bear in mind also is that the flexibility that companies have with product pricing and so on is constrained by our currency. We have 5 naira, 10 naira, 50, 20 naira. You can't increase prices by 1% or 2% and so on. And you have to be very careful. And some of these products are so price sensitive that if you increase this thing by 5 naira, your demand drops. So that's the challenge that management is having to deal with. Is there another matter?
Good morning. I think I'll just speak on, I'll just respond to a few of the other questions. Am I permitted to say? Thank you. The question around dividend policy, the company does have a dividend policy, the board has a dividend policy, and the policy is built essentially around the strategic plan of the business. So, we look at what are the investments we need to make, what are the growth plans we need to make, how much cash do we have, and what do we need over the next few years. So there is a dividend policy that the board does use in terms of determining dividend. The question around directors not earning fees, the directors that represent the majority shareholder do not earn fees in the company. So for 2020, both Mr. Sunil and Gawad, and also because Gawad was in for part of the year, and Nigel did not earn fees because they're employees of Mondelez representing the majority shareholder on the board. The question around after and what the benefit is, the benefit is actually significant. The same benefit that we currently enjoy for ECOWAS, where our products can go across West Africa and we don't have to pay duty, our customers don't have to pay duty. And when we bring products into Nigeria, for example, hot chocolate, we don't pay duty on it. The same would apply for Africa. So it means that our products can go beyond the Nigerian borders across Africa and be sold duty-free. The last question I'll pick here that I think hasn't been responded to is on Richoko. Richoko is, as hot chocolate, is made in Ghana by a Ghanaian sister company. We do buy it and sell it in Nigeria because there's a demand for it in Nigeria. So the Richoko that you see in Nigeria is Richoko made in Ghana and imported into Nigeria. The same way, just for the benefit of shareholders, that we export Tom Tom to Ghana, Ghana exports Richoko to Nigeria. I think those are the key questions, Chairman.
Okay. So I will say on that note, I would like to proceed with the permission. All right. Okay. Yeah, sure. Right. So kindly be informed that in exercise of the powers conferred on me by virtue of Section 248, 1A of the Company and Allied Matters Act 2020, I hereby call a poll on items 3 to 8 of the agenda. Thus, voting for these items will be taken electronically. So the third item on agenda is to declare dividend. Item what? 6. It's not to be taken by poll. What is item 6? Okay, noted. Yeah. Okay. The third item on the agenda is to declare a dividend. Your directors are recommending to shareholders a dividend in the sum of 338,076,353 naira, which translates to 18 kobo per ordinary share of 50 kobo. May I ask a shareholder to move the following motion: that a dividend of 18 kobo per share amounting to the sum of 338,076,353 naira based on the financial statement of the company for the year ended 31st December 2020 be and is hereby declared subject to the deduction of appropriate withholding tax. I have a motion. I have somebody. Okay, your name?
Ibekwe Robert Adenoba, a shareholder. I stand to move that motion as read by the chairman.
Thank you very much. Would another shareholder please second the motion?
Chairman, I rise to second that motion. Mr. Ikeja, Boniface.
Thank you very much. I will now put the result to the meeting. You have 30 seconds to vote. The device, please vote now. Registrars, please announce the result of the voting. Can you please explain? Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Chairman, you have the voting device in your hands. For those of us who are here physically, the proxies have voted already, and it will be announced accordingly. If you are in support of any of the resolutions, you press 1 or A. If you are against, you press 2 or B. Voting is for about 30 seconds. Voting starts now for the first resolution.
Okay, so press 1 or A on your device if you are for it, and 2 if you are against it, correct?
Yes, sir.
Please vote now.
Can we start counting down? 9 seconds left. 8, 7. 4 seconds left. Voting has ended. Can we have the results, please?
Can you please announce the results?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Those who voted for, 229, which is 100%. In terms of percentage, in terms of shareholders, holdings, 1,467,539,514 voted for, which is 100%. No votes against, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Following the announcement on the result of the voting by the registrars, I hereby declare the resolution unanimously carried. The fourth item on the agenda is to elect and re-elect directors. Firstly, pursuant to Section 274(3) of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and Article 93 of the Companies Articles of Association, Mrs. Kofuaki Kugbe and Ms. Nadia Mohammed were appointed as directors during the year under review. Pursuant to Section 273(1) of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, may I ask a shareholder to move that the appointment of Mrs. Kofuaki Kugbe as a director of the company be and is hereby approved. Okay.
That makes it faster.
Okay.
So haven't read it. Let it be taken that you have moved, and then we can get to second.
Okay. 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 May I therefore, I hereby move the motion that the appointment of Mrs. Kofuaki Kugbe as the director of the company be and is hereby approved. Can I have a seconder now for it? Okay.
My name is Benga Idowu. I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Now we need to vote as well. So we need to put that to vote. Please press 1 on your device if you approve, and 2 if you dissent.
Mr. Chairman, sir, we are voting individually, not together.
Individually.
So if you are in support of Mrs. Kofuaki Kugbe as director, please press 1. If you are against, press 2. Voting starts now. Can we start counting down? 9 seconds left. 6 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, 0. Result, please. After the voting, sir, 230 proxies and shareholders voted for, which is 100%. In terms of shareholding, 1,467,589,050 votes, shares, which is also 100%. No votes against. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I hereby declare the resolution to elect Mrs. Akugbe unanimously carried. May I also move another motion that Ms. Nadia Mohammed be and is hereby approved as a director of the company. May I have a seconder for that motion, please? The lady at the back. The lady at the back. The lady at the back. The lady at the back.
My name is Mrs. C.O. Obide. I rise to second the motion.
Thank you. Can we put that to vote, please? If you are in favor, press 1. If you are against, press 2.
Voting starts now. Countdown. 9 seconds left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Results, please. At the end of this round of voting, 228 shareholders and proxies voted for, none against. That's 100%. In terms of shareholding, 1,466,941,050 shares voted for, none against, 100%. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Following the result of the voting announced by the registrars, I hereby declare the resolution to elect Ms. Nadia Mohammed as the director of the company unanimously carried. Secondly, pursuant to Section 285(1) of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and Article 88 of the Company's Articles of Association, Mr. Ogaga Ologe and Mr. Sunil Parthasarathy, being the longest-serving directors on the board, are due to retire by rotation. Being eligible, both directors have offered themselves for re-election. With the permission, may I move this as a joint resolution for the election of both of them? One by one, okay. Okay, so may I move, therefore, that Mr. Ogaga Ologe, who retires by rotation in accordance with Section 285(1) of KAMA, and who, being eligible, has offered himself for re-election, be and is hereby re-elected as the director of the company. May I have a seconder for this motion?
I write to second the motion. Ikeja Boniface.
Thank you. Now put the motion to vote. On your device, press 1 if you approve, and press 2 if you disapprove.
Voting starts now. Countdown. 9 seconds left. 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Results, please. Mr. Chairman, sir, at the end of this round, 228 persons, shareholders and proxies voted for, none against. That's 100%. In terms of shareholding, 1,466,994,480 shares voted for, none against, 100%. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Following the result of the voting as announced by the registrars, I hereby declare the resolution to re-elect Mr. Ogaga Ologe unanimously carried. I will therefore move the resolution that Mr. Sunil Parthasarathy, who retires at this AGM in accordance with Article 88 of the Company's Article of Association and Section 285(1) of KAMA, and who, being eligible for re-election, be and is hereby re-elected as a director of the company. May I have a seconder for this motion, please?
Chairman, I second because I can see Sunil is looking at me. I don't know why he's looking at me, so I'm seconding. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, can I put that to vote, therefore? Again, using your device, 1 for yes and 2 for no.
Voting has opened. Countdown. 9 seconds left. 8, 7, 6, 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Can we have the result, please? Mr. Chairman, sir, 229 proxies and shareholders present voting for, none against, 100%. In terms of shareholding, 1,466,995,050 shares voted for and none against. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Following the result of the voting as announced by the registrars, I hereby declare the resolution to re-elect Mr. Sunil Parthasarathy unanimously carried. So, gentlemen, welcome back on board. Right. Now, the fifth item on our agenda is to authorize the directors to determine the remuneration of the auditors. PricewaterhouseCoopers, who have indicated their willingness to continue in office as the auditor of the company for the financial year 2021. I hereby move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to determine the remuneration of the auditors. May I have a seconder for this motion, please? It's okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise to second the motion. My name is Mrs. C. Obidei.
Thank you very much. we need to vote on this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are for it, press 1. If you are against, press 2.
Countdown. 9 seconds left. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 0. Results, please. At the end of this round of voting, 229 shareholders and proxies voted for, none against, 100%. 1,466,995,050 shares voted for, none against, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. 100%.
Thank you very much. Following the result of the voting announced by the registrars, I hereby declare the resolution unanimously carried. The 6th item on the agenda is to elect members of the Audit Committee. In accordance with Sections 4043 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the Audit Committee shall consist of 5 members comprising of 3 members and 2 non-executive directors. The directors have nominated the following directors as their representatives on the Audit Committee for the 2021 financial year: Mr. Sunil Pathasarati and Mrs. Kofo Akikugbe. In accordance with Section 404, Subsection 3 of KAMA, members of the Audit Committee are subject to election annually. Section 404, Subsection 6 requires that they be formally nominated. Accordingly, 30 valid nominations were received from shareholders on the members to represent them in the Audit Committee. The nominations are for the following persons: Mrs. Shofolahan Mary Joke, Mrs. Elizabeth M. Begbaje, Pastor Oyelakin Lanre Awobode, Fatai Ajadi Kuranga, Latif Kuranga, Lukman Adeshola Adelakun, Ademola Jeka Yinfa, Abiodun Emmanuel Olaiwola, Moses Oyetunji Olaiwola, Omolara Olayemi, Olaiwola Yusuf Kujenya, Ademola Odutayo, Rufus Olukayode Odusanya, Oladepopo Adeyemi Adewumi, Timothy Ademola Oke, Moses Fola Oyedapo, Wahab Olatunji Lawal, Samuel Olopade Alao, Michael Olatunde Oban Monire, Rafiu Kayode Adewale, Aliu Oyebamiji Akanwo, Wahab Olaiwola Adigun, Harun Ayinla Tani, Adelakun Folorunsho Alabi, Adenika Malara Dabiri, Adun Tani, Johnny Adelakun Ajao, Ayodele Akanwo, Adefunsho Adeyi Ajao, and Nuruddin Adekunle Alabi. Those are the 30 valid nominations received. Now you are to elect 3 out of these 30 nominated shareholders to represent you in the Audit Committee. For the sake of clarity and the avoidance of doubt, please note that there shall be no right to demand a poll on the election of members of the Audit Committee in compliance with the provisions of Section 249(3) of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. Thus, voting will be done by shareholders' proxies here present. After the entire voting exercise, the result of the voting shall be announced by me. The independent auditor shall act as scrutineer. I will now proceed to taking the votes. We shall vote now by raising your hands, right hands. Each candidate's name is put forward and the votes are counted by the registrars. So I'll do it in the same order as I read out the names. Okay? Would all those in favor of... Okay, can I have those in favor of Mrs. Shofolaho, Mrs. Mary Joke Shofolaho, please indicate.
Mr. Chairman, sir,
right hand. Yes,
please let them know that you can't vote for more than 3 people.
You cannot vote for more than 3 people.
Candidates, yes.
3 candidates.
There are about 30 candidates.
There are 30 candidates. You can only vote for 3. 30. Okay. Oh, she's not a shareholder. She's not a shareholder. Oh, okay. Okay. The next candidate is Mrs. Elizabeth M. Begbaje. And the third candidate is Pastor Oyelakin Lanre Awobode. The next candidate, Fatai Ajade Kuranga. Next, Latif Kuranga. Next, Lukman Adeshola Adelakun. Next, Ademola Jekanyifa. Next, Abiodun Emmanuel Olayiwola. Next, Moses Oyetunji Olayiwola. Next, Omolara Olayemi. Next, Olayiwola Yusuf Kujenya. Number 12, Ademola Odutayo. Number 13, Rufus Olukayode Odusanya. Number 14, Oladipupo Adeyemi Adewumi. Number 15, Timothy Ademola Oke. Number 16, Moses Fola Oyedapo. 17, Wahab Olatuji Lawal. 18, Samuel Olokwade Alao. Number 19, Michael Olatunde Oba Monire. Whatever. You said this one is not. Okay. Okay. Number 20, Adewale Rafiu Kayode. Aliu Oyebamiji Akono. Wahab Olayiwola Adegun. Harun Ayila Tani. Fọlọ́runṣọ́ Alabi Adelakun. Dabiri Adenike Omolara. Joseph Olayiwola Adelakun. Adun Tani. Johnny Adelakun Ajao. Ayodele Akonwo, Adefunsho Adeyi Ajao, and Nuruddin Adekunle Owolabi. So, yeah. Thank you very much for your patience. The scrutineer will next collate and verify the results, after which the results will be sent to me for announcement. Pardon? No, I think they will do it shortly. I mean, it's a fairly straightforward. Well, we're almost done. Okay, based on the result that has just been handed over to me and attested to by all the relevant officials, I hereby, declare
the top three that will form the committee.
Okay. Okay, Federico, can you please, sir?
Thank you.
Okay.
All the number 4 to 30 scored 0. Number 1 had 13 votes. Number 2, 14 votes. Okay, number 1, Shofola and Mary Joke, 13 votes. Begbaje Elizabeth Mary, 14 votes. Elizabeth M, rather. Awobode Wilakin Lanre, 14 votes. Those 3 stand elected.
Thank you very much. So based on that result, therefore, I hereby move the motion that the appointment of Elizabeth, the election of Elizabeth M. Gegbaje, Pastor Ilakin Lanre Oyebode, and Mrs. Mary Joke Shofolahan, as members, as the representative of shareholders on the audit committees, be and is hereby approved. May I have a seconder for this motion? Gentlemen.
Sir, I want to second that, but I am thinking that the entire committee should be constituted. That is to say, the 3 shareholders representatives.
I'll do that after this. You
after
have to go
this.
to this first.
All right. Ibekwe Robert Adenoba, I stand to second that motion.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, I'll now put it to vote. With all those in favor of this motion, please signify by raising their right hands. No, you have to vote. I mean, just raise your hands if you support. Is a motion? They've been elected. They have to, yeah. Okay, so I hereby declare the motion carried. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I now present members of the Audit Committee for 2021 financial year as follows. Pastor Lanre Oyelakin Lanre Awobode, can I please stand up for recognition? Mrs. Mary Joke Shulfalao and Mrs. Elizabeth Bewaje. And representing management will be Mrs. Kofu Akikugbe, and then Mr. Sunil Patasarati, who is out there on the screen. Thank you very much. Please sit down. Thank you. The seventh item on the agenda for today is an item of special business, which is to grant the general mandate authorizing the company to enter into recurrent related party transactions within stipulated thresholds. May I therefore move this following motion? Yes, please. Okay.
Action will omit it, even though there's no voting on it, but we need to read it out for the hearing. That's the item 2, to disclose the remuneration of managers of the company. We need to point it out. We need to read it out. Then we're not voting on it, but if not noted, it has to be read out.
Or maybe I skipped it. Is it there? Where is it? Is it on the agenda? Maybe I may have skipped it, so let me. Oh, okay. So my mistake. I should have done it right after the first item. My mistake. My apologies. Ladies and gentlemen, in compliance with Section 257 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, I now disclose the compensation of the managers of the company for the year ended 31st December 2020 before you. This is disclosed in Note 25C to the financial statements. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for bringing that, my attention to that. Right, I'd like to move the following motion as a motion of special business. That subject to the provisions issued by the Nigerian Stock Exchange, namely the rules governing transactions with related parties or interested persons, a general mandate be and is hereby given for the company to enter into recurrent related party transactions for the company's day-to-day operations, including the procurement of goods and services on normal commercial terms in compliance with the NEC rules, and that directors be and are hereby authorized to complete and do all such acts and things, including executing all such documents as may be required to give effect to the transactions as authorized by this resolution. May I have a seconder? Yes, please.
Mr. Chairman, I rise to second the motion. Okay, Sir Boniface.
Thank you very much. May I put this to vote? Please indicate by raising your hand if you are in favor. No, it's not by poll. Is it by poll? Then my notes are wrong. Okay, so can we do it by poll then? Please, if you are in favor, press 1 on your device. And if you are against, press 2.
Count down. 9 seconds left. 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. All close. Result. Mr. Chairman, may I go ahead?
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. At the end of the voting, we had 229 proxies and shareholders voting for, which is 100%. In terms of shareholding, 59,457,397 shares voted for. and that is 100% of people voting and present. Thank you. Present and voting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I will say on the basis of the results announced by the registrar, I declare the motion carried. The last item on the agenda for today is also another item of special business, which is to approve the remuneration of the directors. The directors' remuneration has remained unchanged since its approval at the 2018 annual general meeting, and it is in the aggregate sum of 18.2 million naira. Same is now being recommended for upward review by the Board of Directors. May I therefore move? What? Yeah. Okay, because I'm an interested party. Okay, I've been advised. May I therefore call on the shareholder to move that the remuneration of the directors for the year ending 31st December 2021 be and is hereby fixed in the sum of 22.7 million naira.
The MD should take aspect of these proceedings, since you are a party involved in them.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She conduct that
okay.
in the question.
I'm an interested party. No, this one. I'm an interested party. Say I'm an interested party.
Thank you. The last item on our agenda for today is an item of special business, which is to approve the remuneration of the directors. The directors' remuneration has remained unchanged since its approval at the 2018 annual general meeting, and it is in the aggregate sum of 18,200,000 naira. The same is now being recommended for upward review by the Board of Directors. May I therefore call on a shareholder to move that the remuneration of directors for the year ending 31st December 2021 be and is hereby fixed at the sum of 22,700,000 naira until further review.
Interim Chairperson, I will suggest that you give us a breakdown of what, because one of the answers that the chairman gave in the course of the meeting is that 3 directors don't earn any fee. So let's have a breakdown. What is the chairman entitled to and what are the other directors? That way we have a better picture rather than do a lump sum. Thank you.
What I can do at this point, thank you, sir, for that observation. What I can do at this point is explain content. In terms of numbers, I don't have them physically here in front of me, but I can explain content. The directors that are remunerated are the 3 non-executive directors, namely Mrs. Ibukwa Ushika, Mr. Adedotu Sulaiman, and Mrs. Kofu Akinkugbe. The remuneration review has been done purely looking at inflation and nothing else. So this is looking at, and even at that inflation, we have been very conservative to look at. If you take the review that was done 3 years ago, and you apply regular inflation, you will see that this is still well below that. So what we have done is to do an inflationary review, having also compared with peer companies in our industry, and this includes all the major companies that are quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. If the shareholders would like a breakdown, we can provide this, but at this point, I don't have it in front of me. Do you have it? Yes, we do, but what is in the accounts is for the previous years. What we are proposing is for 2021. Okay. We do. We can share it before the end of the meeting, but at this point, right in front of me, I do not have the breakdown. Please, Mr. Ikeja.
Mr. Chairman, I think what we need to do, since the MD have told us social amounts for the 3 directors in line with the global practices obtained other companies. I know some people may earn higher than that or necessarily cannot be compared here, you know. So I think we need to approve it. So by next year, we give all the breakdown. So.
Thank you, sir.
I so move the motion. My name is Mrs. C. Obide.
Thank you. Would another shareholder please second the motion?
I, Ibekwe Roberts Adonoba, I stand to support that motion.
May I have those in favor kindly indicate by raising their right hands? Voting by poll again? Okay, sorry. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, ma'am. If you are voting for, please press 1. If you are voting against, please press 2. Voting starts now. Can you have countdown, please? 9 seconds left. 8 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Voting has ended. Results, please. At the end of voting, 229 shareholders and proxies voted for, none against, 100%. In terms of shareholding, 1,467,599,514 shares voted for, none against, 100%, sir.
Thank you. I declare the motion unanimously carried. I hand over back to the chairman.
Thank you very much. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've now come to the end of our agenda for today. I think I would just like to end by saying a big thank you to all of you for attending. I now declare the 56th Annual General Meeting of Cadbury Nigeria PLC closed.
Dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc, and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Vita, strength to dream.
There are certain moments in the day when I need my me time to just unwind and indulge.
What is this?
The Cadbury goodness is in every pack of Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, making you feel cheerful and pleasant. Enjoy the Cadbury goodness.
Chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath.